I don't know if private is necessarily the option that I'm thinking of, but probably gonna steer away from public school just based on the girls and just Colette, even at her age right now, and in the next 2 years, I feel like I'm gonna have more clarity and kind of know for sure more. But also just based on Landon and his like learning difficulties, I can pretty much assume that Colette is probably gonna need a little extra help when it comes to school. At least for the first few years she's in school. Probably gonna choose something that is more just smaller classes so she can have, more closer like attention from her teachers and more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just get more help. Why did you make How to Be Okay with Being Lonely video if you had a boyfriend at the time? Just wondering. You can have a boyfriend and still be lonely. And like we aren't together all the time. And at the time he had been like away on a trip. So that's kind of why I was feeling especially lonely at that moment, because I haven't like seen him in a week. But like either way, like, I don't know, you can have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner and still feel incredibly lonely. Just because you like have someone that's like yours doesn't necessarily like relieve all feelings of loneliness. You can still like be next to someone. You can be like sitting right next to your partner and still feel lonely in some kind of way. I don't know, those feelings that I was talking about in that video were 100% real. It's not like I feel that way all the time, and I said that in the video. I was just kind of going through a slump. On top of like not seeing him for a while, I was also going through a major depressive episode that left me to just feel very lonely, like no one understood what I was going through, and no one was really there for me as much as everyone tried to be, just because no one understands, or at least that's how it feels when you're in the middle of it. And I don't know, I was just feeling lonely. That video kind of upset some people because they're like, oh, that was all fake. Like that video like made me feel better and gave me hope, but it was all fake. It wasn't all fake. Everything I said, was still real. It's just the context behind it wasn't exactly what everyone thought, but I never said that it was under a specific context anyways. I don't know. What's in the bottle? This is a citrus kombucha. Have you ever tried any psychedelics? Yes. When I was in high school, going through my little phase that I went through when I was 16, I did with Landon. I want to live a healthier, I don't know why I can't talk. I want to live a healthier lifestyle. IDK would start, and how to get rid of junk food. Any advice? Getting rid of junk food is a great start. That's kind of, I'd say, probably the first place to start. And it is hard at first. Trust me, like, it's hard, especially when you're so used to certain, like, foods and eating a certain way. But I promise you, if you stick with it just for a little bit, after a while, you're not even gonna want it. Like, I don't, like, want soda anymore. Like, I get sick. Like, when I drink soda now, like, I tried the other day, I went to Taco Bell, and I haven't had soda in a while, and I was like, I'll get a Baja Blast. And I literally, it was so much sugar, like, I could just, like, feel it. Like, my body had, like, a reaction to, like, the amount of sugar I just drank. And, like, when you're used to it, like, your body's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, more sugar. But, like, that's not how it's, like, supposed to be. Your body's just kind of gotten used to that. But when you, like, go without it for a little bit and you get used to that, and then you, like, have it, like, your body's gonna tell you, like, no, this isn't right. So just get through that first initial bit, and, like, the cravings will go away. And once you do, like, try it, or, like, you know, give in to whatever craving, you're gonna regret it enough afterwards, just based off how crappy you feel, to, like, not want to do that again to your body. Same goes for, like, just fast food, and I don't know, you just really have to commit to yourself, like, I'm not gonna eat junk food anymore. Don't buy junk food, don't have it in your house, don't go out and seek it. A huge thing is just, not having it in your house, and from there it's pretty easy to, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, at least for me. But good luck, and I want to make a whole video about that, and just my weight loss journey and changing my lifestyle, really. So yeah. Do I think Dee Dee is the same as far as, like, Colette and my concerns for her starting school? I'm not sure. It's too young to say. I mean, Dee Dee's pretty similar to how Colette was at Dee Dee's age, and I feel like all toddlers at Dee Dee's age are just kind of the same. I mean, not exactly the same, but just the same energy level, and a little too early to tell with certain things. Do I think Dee looks like me or Landon? I used to think she looks just like me, and I, like, couldn't see any Landon in her, but now I think she's starting to look more like Landon. Is Camryn my age? He is 2 years older than me. After Christmas, his birthday is on Christmas. After Christmas, he's gonna be 23 and I'm gonna be 20, and for 2 months he's gonna be 3 years older than me. I know that's not how it works, but yeah. Which room are you most excited to decorate in the new house? I think the living room. I think the couch is gonna be, like, the perfect size for it, because now, like, there's just so much open space in this room, and I love the way the living room is set up. Like, it's probably one of my favorite rooms in my house right now, and just where I spend a lot of time. So yeah, I think the living room will be fun. Did I see the girls during my time in rehab? No, I went a whole month without seeing them, and it's the longest I've ever gone without seeing them, and it was really hard. What? I can't read Spanish, girl. I'm so proud of you and your growth as a person, mentally and physically. You're an amazing mom in person. Keep doing what you always do. Keep the positive vibes. Oh, thank you. I really needed that. That was a heart, by the way. That was a heart. Yeah, it's been kind of hard lately, honestly, not gonna lie, because I have seen some comments of people being like, oh, so all the progress in the last, 6 months that we've seen in you and that you've made, and, your recovery and just, all the progress I've made, just in bettering myself and my life. They're like, oh, so that's all Camryn. Like, that's not even you. Like, that's just because you are in this new relationship. And, it's all just him. It's, like, because of him. He, like, gets all the credit for that. And it's, like, that really, like, discounts all of the work that I've done. And I, like, first of all, I didn't do it for him. I did it for me. And, like, sure, he helped me along the way. And, like, whatever, but, like, it was still a journey with myself, regardless, and it was still, like, self-help, and, I don't know, people have just kind of been discrediting all my progress, just because they found out that I wasn't single the whole time, which, like, it's, it's just frustrating, because I have done a lot on my own, and just because he's there with me along the way doesn't mean that it's, like, all him, that's just kind of, I don't know, reading enough comments like that, it's kind of made me feel like, damn, like, I did do a lot of work, and it was, just because I had that, like, support doesn't mean that, like, I wouldn't have made that much progress on my own, or that I wouldn't have, I don't know, it just kind of upsets me, because it's not all him. And especially with, like, the kids, like, people, like, as a single mom, I was, like, so inspired, and now you're not a single mom, and I'm realizing that all this time it wasn't even inspiring because you have a boyfriend. And I've said this before, but, like, Camryn is not their dad, and he doesn't try to act like their dad, and there's a lot, like, he helps out, and, it's great, but there's a huge difference between having two parents equally in their lives raising them and having one parent, because he's not a parent, and I feel like when it comes to, like, being a single parent, single doesn't have to do with relationship status. Single has to do with singular, one parent, single parent. I am a single parent. They only have one. They only have one of me. They had two parents. Now they only have one. And Camryn, helps out just like my dad helps out. My dad comes over and plays with them and hangs out with them, but he's not their parent, and there's not all this pressure on him because it's not his kids. I'm, at the end of the day, the only one that changes their diapers. I'm the one that's going to clean up their puke when they're puking. I'm the only one that's going to sit with them in the hospital all night and be there when, they need me like that. So, on that front too, it's like, oh, it's less inspiring, and I have less respect for you now, knowing that you're not just doing it all on your own. Like, when he's around, he plays with them, and maybe if Colette asks, like, hey, can you refill my water bottle, he'll refill it, and, but I still, cook every meal for them, change all of their diapers, discipline them, all the parenting stuff, I still do all of that, because it's not Camryn's responsibility, and I wouldn't ask that of him, because he, once again, is not their parent. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired of all the progress and hard work and all that I've overcome and all that I do being belittled just because I have a little bit more help than people thought I did. I was not sure where that was going. Sorry. What music do I listen to? I listen to a lot of stuff. Mostly sad music. Because, I don't know, I listen to a lot less sad music these days because I'm a little less sad. But when I was, really depressed, and still am depressed when I get into a depressive episode, I do really love my sad music and really rely on it. But yeah, Phoebe Bridgers, you already know. That's my girl. What age did you get your nose done? I assume you're talking about my piercing. And I was 16 when I got this originally, but then I just got it redone when I was 19. Do I still have my lip tat? Yes, I do. Do I like apple cider? Yes. What about my podcast couch? I think I'm going to sell it. So if you want a bright pink couch, let me know. Where are the kids? They're sleeping. How have you been coping with grief recently? Has it gotten easier as time has gone on? Yes. I mean, that's just kind of how grief goes. It does get easier. I mean, from the second it happened till now, it's just kind of progressively gotten easier. I mean, it probably got a little harder before it got easier, but since my lowest low, it has just gotten slowly but surely easier to cope with. Not easier as in, I don't deal with it as much, or I still grieve the same as I always did, but I know how to handle it more now. Yeah. But how have I been coping? It really helps to just talk about it. Talk about how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking of, what memories I'm remembering. Lately, I've just been getting really frustrated with my PTSD, and especially since the hospital, I've been having a lot more flashbacks, and that's really rough. That really sucks, and I just literally can't control it. It just comes out of nowhere, it feels like. So that's probably one of the hardest parts, is coping with that. But yeah, when it comes to just grief and just missing him, it really just helps to talk about him. And Camryn, he's very open to me talking about him. We talk about Landon all the time. He's still a huge part of my life and the girls' lives, and yeah, I mean, he's never don't talk about him. I don't know, just because I'm with Camryn now doesn't mean Landon's not on my mind every single day. And I'm so thankful that he's so willing to let me talk about him and be there and care what I have to say about it. Yeah. Can we see Coco and Dee Dee? They're napping right now. This comment, because women can't do anything without the help of men, obviously. Yeah. I feel like, not to like make any kind of assumptions or anything, but I just really feel like if I came out with like the fact that I was like dating a woman, I feel like a lot of these things that people are saying, trying to, I guess they're not sleeping. God's awake. She's just, is that Dee Dee or Coco? They're supposed to be napping, so I'm gonna give them a second. Ozzy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these comments trying to discredit my progress and my abilities as a mother are just rooted in misogyny. Like, I don't know. I feel like if it was a girl that I introduced, people wouldn't be like, oh, so she's only better because her girlfriend, and oh, like her girlfriend does so much for the kids. She's not like a single mother. I don't know. I just feel like those comments would probably be less common, if not something that people are commenting on. Because I don't know. Maybe it would be exactly the same, and there's no double standard there, but kind of feels like there's probably a bit of a double standard, and because he's a man and carries so much weight in the relationship, and like, I don't know, I feel like our relationship defines most gender stereotypes anyways, and I do like carry a lot of weight, just because my life is complicated and I have kids, and like, you know, I have to be kind of like established in myself and in my life, and do things for myself. To get a boyfriend and immediately like expect him to like be my therapist